Hello, students. A very warm welcome to all. I am Dr. Premal Ramesh Devre from SPH Mahila Mahavidyalaya, Malegaon. Today, we will discuss a very beautiful poem titled The World is Too Much with Us by William Wordsworth, a wonderful romantic poet. These are the contents of our today's discussion. William Wordsworth was born on April 7th, 1770. He wrote this poem during the first industrial revolution. This is a beautiful sonnet with a theme that is relevant in today's time, a theme about being away from materialism and enjoying the beauty and glory of nature. Wordsworth has been a person who has really worshipped nature. He is considered one of the giants of English poetry, whose greatness as a poet has almost been universally recognized. In this poem, the poet describes human beings' relationship with natural world. The poet blames industrial society for replacing the connection between humankind and nature due to material pursuits. The poet contrasts nature with the world of materialism. People have lost the ability to connect with nature while pursuing worldly pleasures. We have given away our emotions and liveliness. Our lives have nothing to do with the rhythms of the natural world. The poet laments the evils of materialism which have made the man insensitive towards the beauty of nature. People were no longer in touch with nature. This is the text. We will go through it in upcoming slides. In this poem, Wordsworth condemns the excessive interest of people in money. Today, money rules and governs us. Getting and spending have become the chief concern in our life. We feel too preoccupied in worldly activities. Wordsworth suggests that we should spend more time respecting nature because nature is no longer important to any of us. This poem is rather a very simple poem which has deeper meaning which can be found by having deeper reading and understanding of the poem. Definitely, this poem has a valuable lesson for all of us. The world is too much with us, late and soon. Getting and spending will lay waste our powers. Little we see in nature that is ours. We have given our hearts away, a solid boon. In the beginning of the poem, the poet is talking about worldly pleasures such as money, possessions, power. It is too much with us. He suggests that by using our time and energy in getting and spending, that we lay waste our powers. The poet laments, we have given away our hearts. People are missing the beauties of nature. Their hearts are filled with greed for worldly possessions rather than enjoying nature. People have given their hearts away for selfish and greedy benefits. Industrial life has isolated people from nature. The phrase late and soon could mean sooner or later. It could mean we have done this in the past and will be doing this in future. We lay waste our powers. Powers mean have ability to see, to feel, to sense, to imagine. We waste our times on possessions that will not be with us when we have passed on. The sea that bears her bosom to the moon, the winds that will be howling at all hours, and are up gathered now like sleeping flowers. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. In these lines, the poet brings the reader in contact with nature itself. He describes natural images like sea, wind, flowers. The sea bears her bosom to the moon suggests an intimacy between the moon and the sea. Howl gives the wind human emotion. The flowers sleep. The poet gives human quality of sleeping to the flowers. The poet says that we are so caught up in worldly wealth that we are out of tune. Wordsworth portraits the greatness as well as the helplessness of nature in front of human greed for materialistic life. It moves us not, great God. I would rather be a pagan suckle in a creed outworn. So might I, standing on this pleasantly, have glimpses that would make me less forlorn. Have sight of Proteus rising from the sea, or hear old Triton blow his wreathed horn. To the last 6 lines of this poem, we find how Wordsworth demonstrates his anger for ignoring the pristine glory of nature. In these lines, he illustrated the frustration from the ignorance of nature. We should understand the importance and usefulness of nature. Wordsworth showed his anger through this poem that we are neglecting beauty of Mother Nature and running behind the materialistic things. He exclaims that if beauty and kindness of nature cannot turn our minds from materialism or spirituality, then he would become a pagan. He complains to God that in such a heartless world, he would become happier to become a person who does not believe in God but believes in nature, like the old Greek world. In ancient time, Greeks believed into the power of nature, and they worshipped only the sea and the other natural objects as the god and goddesses. Wordsworth tried to convey this message to the world that one day one should not forget its importance, otherwise, one day we will face its consequences. This Italian sonnet uses the last 6 lines to answer the first 8 lines. The first 8 lines, that is the octave, presents a theme or the problem, and the next 6 lines, that is the sestet, suggests a solution to the problem and develops the theme. Wordsworth wrote most of the lines of this poem in iambic pentameter, in which a line has 5 pairs of syllables. Each pair consists of an unstressed syllable followed by a stressed syllable. The World is Too Much With Us follows a rhyme scheme of Italian sonnets. The first 8 lines or octave follows a rhyme scheme A B B A B B A. The final 6 lines or sestet follows this rhyme pattern C D C D C D. The poet follows this rhyme scheme, which is perfect. In most Petrarchan sonnets, octave proposes a question or an idea that the sestet answers, comments upon, or criticizes. The poem's tone is one of complaint of speaker describes a rift between nature and man. The poet laments that we have lost the ability to feel as we have given our hearts away. He next announces sarcastically that he would rather be a pagan, at least then he could appreciate nature through different eyes and even see Proteus rising from the sea, perhaps. He believes that if people go out and reconnect with nature, they will find spirituality again. This poem has some marvelous pictures of nature. In this sonnet, Wordsworth reminds us that nature has its beauty and significance. The poem contains 2 very beautiful pictures of nature. One is the picture of the sea in moonlight falling freely on the surface of the sea, and the other is the picture of wind that sleep like flowers at night. Winds, which are mostly blowing with force but which are sometimes calm and peaceful, like sleeping flowers. Wordsworth uses of simile that the sea wind are to be upgather now, like sleepy flower. This sonnet reveals Wordsworth's love for nature. The people of his age are not at all moved by the beautiful objects of nature. They do not have any love for the sight of moonlight falling on the surface of the sea or the picture of wind. The poet says man is out of tune with nature. He appeals to the God and says, He would rather be a pagan. As a pagan, the poet would have opportunity of witnessing the sides of pagan gods like Proteus and Triton. It reveals the poet's perception of himself in society. To conclude, by writing this poem, William Wordsworth sent out a beautiful message to everyone in this world 200 years ago, but it can be still applied today. The poem is representative of Wordsworth's poetic genius. William Wordsworth reveals very beautiful message to everyone. Hope you like and understand the poem. We will look forward to meet you in the next video. Thank you.